Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for joining me today. We are here with some of the most hard working. Come on now.
I don't want to expose you now.
We ain't gonna do that. Generally, this individual right here is on her P's and Q's, crossing the T's, dotting her I's. One of my favorite people, just a ray of sunshine to be around. I'm proud of her on all avenues. This right here is Kay, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Talk to them. Tell them about yourself.
True. I'm Kay Customs, 24 years old. I started designing in late high school. KP, Kayla Perla, had found me, put me on her course, and it's been kind of up ever since, to be honest.
What has been your driving force? What has been, really your purpose and your motivation that's driving your creative direction right now?
I would say the next generation has to be. That's what drives me in anything I do, is the youth.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like, this great Samaritan beside me, yo. This like, queen of queens, bro. Like, come on now. So with that being said, like, how did that start for you? Like, how did you know I really want to make an impact on the youth?
I think because as a child, I was missing that. So when I got to a certain age, that hit me, that I had so many questions that couldn't be answered. I was walking a path that I didn't understand. And a lot of my choices and my mindset was just not really like the day-to-day people. Yeah. So I just know that there's a lot of youth out there that's missing that as well. And there's not a lot of people who are willing to be patient or hardworking towards bringing that back. And the next generation is everything, and I feel like we don't give that enough credit. Like, we want a lot of things in life to change, but it all starts with the younger generation itself.
Where are you pulling inspiration that might surprise people? Like, what are some things, people, places, things that inspire you that might not be the normal things, like a motivational clip? Like, what's really getting you up to talk to the youth?
The projects. A lot of people, they look at the stuff that's already doing good, but they don't look at the troubled kids. They don't look at the messed up environments. They don't look at the people who don't have the finances. I think being in those environments, whether it's volunteering or just passing by or having that one-on-one moment with somebody who's still living it, is something that brings so much inspiration to my mental. And I try to always continue to not necessarily be in those environments, but still in a helpful way be in those environments, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And I like that what you just said is that a lot of people like the things that are already done, that are already built up and that are already great. But I think life is a lot about like duality, and it's very just as important as, okay, this got built up. A lot of people don't see the journey that built that up. And a lot of people can forget that. If we go to social media, you see the highlight reels of people's life. You see the best times, the good times, the vacations, the fits, whatever. I feel like nobody's really expressing those harder moments that got them to be built up or where they are. And those are, if not more important, because they truly shape you in the individual that you are when you show up.
Right now, life and social media is missing authenticity.
100%.
Everybody is trying to just one up the next person, one up the next brand, when in all reality, everybody can eat. And you can always give back, and it still comes back to you 10x.
It's true. Like, honestly, somebody else's success and abundance doesn't take away from yours at any chance. Like, there is so much wealth to go around, not even so much a financial standpoint. There's wealth in conversations and community and, opportunities. Like, you can't always get caught up in the rat race of getting money, because that could really stop you from getting away of being present and learning from what's around you. You got to know where you are to get where you're going. And then, okay, so we're talking about creating and really building the person that you're becoming. What do you feel like you learned mostly about yourself on this creative journey?
Good or bad?
Both.
I'm gonna start with the bad.
Okay, let's do it.
Just because I'm in that path right now where I'm really just being more authentic with myself and being more honest with myself about the bad, so that way I can elevate the rest of my strengths, if that makes sense. I would say validation issues. Social media for me was like something like the likes counted, the comments counted, everything. Like, I just was on a grind on social media, and it doesn't even matter if you have the following or anything. You can have 5,000 followers and still be making income and caring about the validation of it.
It's very true.
You can get 30 likes on a post and it still eats you up alive, even though you've never even hit 1,000. You know what I mean? And that really took over my mental and took me away from my creative path, and also being able to give back to others because I was so stuck on myself.
Yeah. It's super easy as someone that is constantly putting stuff out there to have imposter syndrome that my work isn't good enough or whatever. But the thing is, what your one comparison, as everyone knows, is the thief of joy. But also, like, when you're in that state, you're not creating for you, and that's how you get lost, and that's how you're not consistent. That's how you kind of get caught up, or you end up in some place that you're like, I don't know how I got here. Like, you're not posting from who you are. And I feel like we genuinely know what we're supposed to be doing. I feel like everyone has that purpose and that knowing, because there's a reason why you dream what you dream. Mm-hmm. Everyone has different dreams, and because we are here for different things and we have different purposes, you have to tune out the noise, show up as yourself, and be unapologetically yourself.
Absolutely. When you're on content, even being in certain rooms, they don't tell you that when you elevate your circle and your environments, that you can also be in a position of envy, jealousy, if you don't take care of who you are first.
Yeah.
And in certain moments, I had to catch myself, because it's like you're always comparing yourself to the next person, even though you're in that circle with them. And I think sometimes we forget, like, this circle, we're in it because we're all elevated in some way. It shouldn't be a competition.
What do you feel like your biggest mindset shift as a creative has been that has taken you to new levels that might have been the creator block that someone else would need to hear?
To go deep into it, I would say it's my childhood traumas. That was like the biggest creative block for me. Is I had a lot of highs and lows, and it took over a lot of my creative, for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's funny enough because for y'all that don't know, she has created one of the biggest and most influential clothing brands out there. And you could say that you went through those hard times so you could create and help people as well. You know, and I think that switching from maybe like, oh, why is this happening to me, to I know why this happened to me so I can help people, I think is one of the biggest blessings, is that mindset shift.
I think it was my pride was in the way for a very long time. Like, growing up, I knew I had a purpose to help others, and I knew I was meant for so much more than myself or even just being in the environments that I was in. But it was just more so my pride would hold me back from doing that post.
Yeah.
I could have all the inventory in front of me and still do stuff on the low, but I didn't post about it, or I didn't show up to the school and talk, you know, or whatever the case was. And I veered to graphic designing a little bit too much because I was hiding from who I was supposed to become.
Yes.
So I would also put that as a creative block as well, to go with the trauma a little bit, is my pride.
Yeah, and honestly, I can relate to that as well. As this whole last year, 2025, I've been really studying the skill of content and learning and growing these pages and getting the results, but for other people and other brands, because I was afraid to do it for myself. And there has to be a point where you realize, like, when am I going to start pouring into me as much as I've been pouring into the other things that I know, like, that I'm distracting myself with? Because I feel like God or higher power, whatever you believe in, will let you go down that path as long as you want to go down that path. But it's up to you to be like, I'm at the end of the day distracting myself or putting it off. And it's like I said, we wake up knowing exactly what we want to do. And a lot of our blessings, a lot of our wins, a lot of our things that we've been wanting are in the work that we are constantly avoiding. And if we only put as much energy into the things that we're avoiding of the things and just doing the actual thing, we could be where we want. And then you're not in this repetitive cycle of, why am I, comparing myself? Why am I not where I want to be? You know why you're not where you want to be. We really do have all the answers and everything we need to get where we're going, as much as it's sometimes easy to say, no, if I had this, or when I get this to this level, or when I meet this person, I'm going to be who I want to be. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. You choose every single day who you want to be, how you want to show up, and life follows that. You set the tone and you tell life how you want to be treated. You tell people how you want to be treated. You set the tone and life reflects that. Do you feel like there's been things that have almost stopped you on your journey?
That's the question. Yeah, every day. Mm-hmm. Every day. There's still things that I deal with that still try to stop me. It can go as deep as relationships, friendships, family, financial. Man, when I first got my LLC, I was oblivious. I didn't have a lot of knowledge. I didn't know you had to pay yearly for it. I didn't know that there was other things that you had to pay for it to be valid.
Yeah.
You know, like just even those small things to even start a business was just like, you know, especially because I started as a senior in high school, you know, I was like, oh, I'll just get this or I'll just get that. I'm already $5,000 deep and I'm like,
whoa,
what is going on?
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I just feel like life itself can stop you if you let it.
If you let it.
But that goes for anything. It can stop you from working at McDonald's too. In all reality,
It's
you know.
true. And
oh,
it's a
my car
choice.
broke down. I can't make it to work. Ride a bike. You know, like
If you wanted it, the thing is, if you really want something, you're gonna find a way.
100%.
There's so many times that somebody will try to keep calling, texting this guy or this girl that don't like them, but they really want them, but you find a way. Some people, I've heard people that have gotten blocked and they're sending email to get into contact. So if you can do all that, if you can put energy into things outside of yourself, could you just take a little bit of that and put it in yourself?
Like you said, if you want it bad enough, and it's also, are you willing to make the sacrifices for it as well?
Yeah.
But anything can stop you from it. It can it doesn't even have to be something big or bad either. It can just be you.
It's true.
You know, just looking in the mirror and not loving yourself can stop you from pursuing your dream. You know, allowing your parents to dictate where you go next can stop you from living your dream. For me, at one point, it was taking care of the younger people in my family as well, thinking that I was doing what was best for my future, but really, how can I help them if I'm not even helping myself or
True.
being a better role model for them, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I would say everything, anything.
Yeah.
I can list
We could
thousands.
But I really liked how you said, like, but it is a choice if you let it. And I think that someone needs to hear that today, because it's like, what are you letting stop you from who you're meant to become and what you're supposed to be doing on the daily? Because like we actually just sat down and was talking about our goals of 2026, and also that it's about day by day, week by week. And like, that's the thing, is all the days add up over time. And the next thing you know, it's 3 months later. And that goes for when you're doing the work or when you're avoiding the work and when you're not doing it. Because sometimes you can look up and be like, oh my gosh, how is it March already? And you didn't do the thing that you said you were going to do at the beginning of the year. And it's not even too late. It's literally about day by day by day. Like, it starts when you start. You like work towards your dreams daily, because you have to be patient with it. It's not just gonna, oh, I started today, so my manifestation is gonna be at the end of the month. No, it's like, I think sometimes God, or again, whatever you believe in, makes us go through these waiting periods or these still periods to really test how bad do you want it.
Absolutely.
Because if it happened immediately, you
Wouldn't
could
be
fumble it.
prepared for
No.
either. That's one thing I would say. I was very impatient for many years.
Yeah.
Luke had to sit down with me about this as well, and we kind of went back and forth because I was just so impatient. I knew I was meant for more. I was hungry for it. I'm showing up for it. Why is it not here?
Yes.
You know? And he was just like, you have to understand that things come at a certain time for a reason.
It's true.
And he's absolutely right about that, because I had poor communication skills for many years, bad leadership skills. You know, let's really talk about it, you know? Like, I'm not afraid to talk about it because it's stuff that I'm working on now, but there's a lot of people who even make $10K a month and they're still lacking these things and wondering why they're only stuck at $10K a month. This goes for everyone, you know, not even just people who are coming up. If you're stuck, life is telling you something. The universe is telling you something.
Exactly.
And you have to pay attention to it. Otherwise, it will bite you in the ass.
It's true. And like, honestly, it's those moments of silence and sometimes solitude or isolation that's when you have a moment to reflect on yourself. Because again, your business, your whatever you want to grow is a reflection of you. Like you said, if you're stuck at that 10K, there's probably something up here that you're, again, avoiding, that you are ignoring. And it's like, it really... if you were moving and sometimes you're moving, sometimes you're really stuck, but you're doing busy work. It's like when you're in school and you're just doing busy work and you know, like, this isn't really productive, but like, I'm just doing something. Sometimes you get in those modes and it's until you're like, you know what, let me do this task and be intentional with it. And then that's going to get the job done. Like, I think it's so easy to get caught up in that just repetitive daily cycle. And like, again, you're moving and you're just getting by. You have to realize sometimes that you're not going anywhere. It's like you're running on a treadmill because you're avoiding it, and you have to address it.
It's like, you know, you have to make dinner, but then you went grocery shopping. Now you're organizing. Then you got to do this for the kids or this and that. And then by the time you know it, I didn't even start dinner yet. You know, like, and that goes for a couple of situations. Yeah.
Like, and then you're questioning, again, it's you. Like it literally is a choice. Like life is about a bunch of choices, and we make choices on the daily. And sometimes it's the little choices every day. Everyone's like, oh, I only have a day, but like you have a choice of what time you wake up. You have a choice of what you're gonna make your bed. You have a choice of how you're gonna start your morning. You have a choice of how you talk to people. Like we actually control a lot more than what we think we do. And I think when you have that realization, you start being way more intentional about the little actions on the daily.
I think also to piggyback off of that as well, something that I struggled with is getting on myself when I didn't do those things. And I feel like that holds a lot of people back as well. It held me back for a very long time. But it's just, it also goes back to loving yourself, showing up for yourself in deeper ways. But for me, it was like, okay, I have to do this, this, and this. And then if I didn't do it, it was like a weight on my shoulder. I felt like I wasn't good enough, or I felt like I wasn't living up to my word. And that breaks your own trust over time. So building trust with yourself, and even just doing the little things and being like, okay, I may not have did everything, but I at least started this. So now tomorrow, let's add this in or something.
Yeah. Again, don't take the whole thing on at once. It's about those little actions. And all confidence is having trust in yourself. And having trust in yourself comes from the actions that you take. Okay, so we kind of were talking about like the day-to-day action, and we kind of touched on this earlier, is like how important the community is. You know, I feel like, what do you value most in your creative circle? Like what really is something that you every day could be grateful for from the people that you surround yourself with?
That's a good question. I would say the support, and not even specifically one thing, but just overall the little things, you know, just when you're in a better circle, those people are also walking a similar path in a way, so they understand if you don't answer right away, or whether it's certain ideas or a plan that you're sharing with somebody else, they're able to respect it more and also see your vision in a way. Like, I feel like growing up, I lacked that a lot, is being surrounded by the right people who, even if they couldn't see my vision, they tried to see my vision. You know, that's what I get from this better circle now, is you may not see my vision when we sit down, but you're so locked into your vision, you're like, her vision's probably possible too, you know?
It's true.
So it's just having that extra support in different ways is so helpful. And networking overall, like just good vibes when you come to stuff like this, I would say that's the best part.
I love that. And honestly, I think understanding, I think it's something that we all can crave and relate to. Because like you said, if you're around the wrong people, if I take a day or two to respond, in the past, someone could be like, oh, so you're just avoiding me, or did it, like someone could really take that personally in the wrong way. But when you're on a path and you're locked in and being surrounded by people that way, you understand that if I didn't answer, that doesn't mean that I don't love you the same. It doesn't mean that, like, again, we don't have a same like connection, but I want to pour into my cup first so I can pour into the people around me too. It's important, you know, and it's like, and sometimes this creator stuff is not all fun and games. Not even sometimes, honestly, most of the time.
Full-time job.
It's a full-time job, and sometimes you're not getting paid for it. Sometimes you have burnout. Sometimes you have people depending on you. Sometimes there are bigger things going on. And so when you are surrounded by people who are almost on that similar journey, it makes you feel not as alone. And sometimes having one person, it might not be a group of 10. Sometimes, most of the time, it's usually one person that can understand you and help and support you, like you said, that makes all the difference. And that's more valuable than anything, genuinely. Come sit down. Hold on, wait.
My bad.
So honestly, kind of, we were just talking about community. What, like, how do you feel like the importance, or like, what do you value most in a community, or the people that you surround yourself with?
I mean, what they tell you is like, have a village around your people so you can build and stuff like that. So having a community of people who's like-minded is give you like the positive efforts, because you know somebody who is also in the same struggle you in, you can bounce back, reflect with each other, and also grow together, and also you can learn from each other too as well.
It's true.
And that's why I like having people in the same creative space, because you can learn from each other. And I feel like these type of people are always positive and always like, you know, uplifting, and always want to connect. Like y'all just came in, we started talking, like I don't even know y'all. You know
We sat down on the couch, we got comfortable.
Doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like, I just met y'all literally today, so
Yeah.
it is people like that I just want to connect with and be with, because that's kind of like fulfilling for me, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think surrounding yourself with like-minded people, especially I feel like as a creative, it's so easy to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like that can easily, like when you're in those building stages, something that is a small misunderstanding or a small comment can really knock you off your path.
Correct.
But being around people that are almost just as delusional or crazy as you really gets you going and really helps you dream big and achieve the big things that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
It's also not easy being a creative in business either. And a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, creatives have such a different, I don't want to say we use a different side of our brain, but you know, we kind of do, you know.
Yeah.
So like we focus more on that. That's why we're so good at it. But then also on top of that, having to run a business, like I feel like it takes a little bit of time to figure that out for us. And
Sure.
when we do, like, great, but when we still don't even know that we're supposed to do that, I feel like that's where we lack in a lot of areas as well, and people
Yeah.
don't understand it because
Yeah.
we don't even understand it sometimes ourselves.
It's very true. Like you said, there's almost that shift of going from just creating almost for fun and being like, wait a minute, like this could support me. Like I'm not just doing this. Like there's a reason why I'm doing this. Like you said, being able to turn it into like an income and being
Yeah.
able to build on top of that. That's when you really, I feel like, can step more into that mode and then build on top of that.
That's kind of like the definition of a career for me.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Just like not something we have to get up and like, oh, I gotta get up at 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
And where you already feel energized, you prepared in your mind beforehand the next day, I want to do this,
Mm-hmm.
do this type of content. And also the bonus is just getting money from it.
That's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like really, like there's people who really wake up in this world making millions but hate their job, and like it
Correct.
really. So that's like they're still in a trap. They're just in a well-funded trap.
Yeah.
And it's like if you like, that's why we do it for free. It's because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, it's great when we turn it into money, in which we all will, but at the same time, we do it because we love it. And I feel like that's when the best work comes from, when you do
Correct.
it that you love it.
Yeah.
And like also, you never know what your creation is, no matter what it is, clothes,
Yeah.
content, pictures, like what it's gonna bring to the younger generation, the people around you. Like that, it's a ripple effect. Now that's my favorite thing about a creative outlet. It's like you never know who you're gonna inspire, but you could be inspiring the next Beyonce, the next whatever, like, and then they're gonna inspire more. Like, it's a ripple effect.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know, really at the end of the day,
It's
too,
true.
like you said.
And how you view yourself, like who, like how well do you know yourself?
Yeah, and also have that personality, just being very like outgoing too
Mm-hmm.
as well. Like, you know, I understand people could be introverts and extroverts,
Mm-hmm.
or introverts extroverts, but like there's a way to be have a fine balance of both.
Yeah, they benefit both
It
if you can
benefit
play both.
Yeah, and also you can meet all different types of people too as well, and learn how to connect with them, learn how to talk to them, because not everybody's extrovert, not everybody's introvert.
Yes.
So having that ability to do that also spans your personality too. So-
Exactly. For my people that want to connect with these brilliant minds, how are they finding you?
So my name is Shot by AOG, so it's SHOT by BYAYOOG. You can find me on there on Instagram, do videography, so anything you need video-wise, let me know.
Y'all heard it here. And then remind them of how they find you.
Right now I'm on the low. I'm taking a break from social media, but K Customs, KAYY.CUSTOMS.
Well, y'all heard it here. Thank you guys so much for your time, your guys' time, and we'll see you in another one. Peace. Yeah.
It just started.
We just started.
You're good.
Man, look, what's up, bro? What's up?
Oh, wait. Okay.
Come on.
Hey, man, look.
Both cameras.
Both of these people are the GOAT, man. Shout out to Kay. Kay's a real one. She be putting the work in for real. Shout out to Naya, too. Naya's my therapist. Hey, it's fun fact. Every time we fucking sit down somewhere, we all sit down fucking
It's true, though.
somewhere talking about life, bro. I don't know. But nah, my fault. Peace.